But today what I'm going to spit is basically stories that are coming from this album called Drowning in the Open with my mentor, the late, great Dr. Nikki Giovanni, who passed away late in 2024. And thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. And the stories from this album are really addressing different things that are going on with men and men's mental health and a lot of things we were speaking on earlier. So I'm actually going to jump into this first piece. Some of you all may have heard a little bit earlier, but I think it hits a little different when we get to hear it without anything behind it. So, in my opinion, my mother is the greatest cook in the entire world. She can craft any dish regardless of culture and technique, and every once in a while she would entrust me with the task of helping out in the kitchen, and to this day I love to cook. Jordy, she would say, Jordan is my government name, Jordy's the nickname, you know what I'm saying? Jordy, she would say, watch the pot on the stove. It's just water boiling, but you need to watch it and stop it before it boils over. See, it's funny how that works. Something as simple as a few drops of water can go from being a calm bringer of life to a scorching disaster. Imagine if the top couldn't pop off the pot, it would boil until the pot exploded. See, a few drops of water used to pour down my face before I learned how to hold them back, suppress the thought, get distracted, simply stop paying attention. See, I hope you know it won't make the pain go away. When I got into my first fist fight, I got my ass kicked. I didn't even throw a punch. I don't know if it was from fear or shock. To add insult to injury, he bunny hopped with his bike and landed on mine as he rode away. I felt so much anger I could punch through a wall. I breathed so hard, huffing and puffing, feeling the internal steam starting to rise because the tears formed at the corner of my eyes, not because of the fight, but because he used to be my friend. And it hurt. And instead of letting the tears fall, I would much rather wipe them away, suppress the thought, get distracted, simply stop paying attention. See, I hope you know it won't make the pain go away. Fast forward to my first kiss. It was at the end of school. One of the cutest girls that was actually popular too liked me, and I mean the old me with the fearful, anxious mind, me with the stutter that I hid. See, we stood in front of the school after classes ended and we kissed. Time stood still. Shortly after, a sea of oohs erupted. I walked home feeling like I never wanted to feel that feeling again. I felt so much, I walked home feeling like I had done the impossible, feeling like I was the man. Soon to be surprised with the new gossip and rumors that she seemed to regret the decision, and just that fast, like the day before, we stood in front of the school and she dumped me. Time stood still. I walked home feeling like I never wanted to feel that feeling again. Feeling so much anger that I could punch through a wall, breathing so hard, huffing and puffing, feeling the internal steam starting to rise until the tears formed at the corner of my eyes, not because of all the eyes watching, but because I liked her, and it hurt. And instead of letting the tears fall, I would much rather wipe them away, suppress the thought, get distracted, simply stop paying attention. See, I hope you know it won't make the pain go away. Jordy, my mother, would say, watch the pot on the stove. It's just water boiling, but you need to watch it and stop it before it boils over. Jordan, watch it before it boils over. Jordan, watch it before it boils over. The pain of trying to feel like you were worth something, watch it before it boils over. The pain of knowing that the help that you need is not coming, watch it before it boils over. The pain of mommy and daddy splitting, the pain of moving with dad only to be forgotten about, the pain of never really feeling like a part of love, watch it before it boils over. The pain of having to put your family dysfunctions to the side so you can focus on your work. The pain of knowing that no one is coming to help you through engineering school, coursework, or emotional support because you didn't know how to ask. The pain of being the only black boy in your department. The pain of pretending that it didn't affect you, watch it before it boils over. The pain of realizing that you never healed from the first scars before the new ones form. The pain of realizing that you have more suppressed pain than addressed pain. The pain of pretending that it didn't affect you, watch it before it boils over. The pain that has turned into more pain, watch it before it boils over. The pain that has turned into bottle up rage, watch it before it boils over. The pain that pushed you to make you want to commit that crime, the pain that made you want to strangle that person, the pain that made you want to hit that person again and again until your knuckles were bloody. The pain that Jordan, watch it before it boils over. And that's that piece. So How Men Cry was something that are formed, and it really actually doesn't have much to do with physical tears. What it's really talking about is unprocessed pain points and trauma that we can all be holding, and in particular for men. And I don't know if you all know, but the suicide rate for men is about 4 times that of women. And we think that a lot of that has to do with not being able to open up and talk about what's going on, but then also the world not knowing how to receive that from a lot of men. And we have this interesting cross-section right now where we kind of have the choice to be the ones that model it. And I don't even think we always know what it looks like. And what these pieces are really articulating is my journey of trying to figure that out within my story. But what I hope that you take from this evening is just any type of metaphor or story or language that can help you through yours. So I'm gonna get into this next piece. And I'll just say it, man. This project has taken a lot out of me personally. And one of my greatest mentors and friends was Dr. Nikki Giovanni. And I would be lying if I said that it doesn't hurt every time that I work with the pieces, especially now. So thank you guys for your patience with that too. All right. Temperature check. How y'all doing? Y'all good? We'll get into this next piece, which is about how the things that we learn can impact the women that we love. Which is awkward because my ex is here, so. I'm just playing. I'm playing. I had to. I had to lighten the room a little bit, okay? Y'all chill. Everybody said, well, this shit, no. Nah, we not. All right, relax, y'all, relax. Oh. Y'all gonna let us open the line, though, I'll tell you that. My first sexual experience, yeah, we about to, My first sexual experience was not with a woman. It was with a computer. Weren't sure where that was going, did you? Yeah. You said what? What? Hand? Was that a specific site? I've never had that call. What? Y'all know this site? Okay, forget it. Pass. All right, pass. Full of images and videos that laid a tainted foundation for intimacy, just like most young men at that age, and it shows. I will never forget that night that I was laying it down, the night that I'm giving her the business, the night that's so hot and passionate in my mind, at least. Damn, I'm sorry. I learned how to talk from the actors on the screen, so I asked her, yeah, baby, do you like that? It's a true story, by the way, y'all. And she replies, no. No, not really. Talk about a reality check. See, I was brought back to the moment in a flash. I realized that my mind was not even present with her. It was caught up in an imaginary scene of what I thought sex was supposed to be. Man, I'm sorry. She left before I had a chance to realize. She left before I had a chance to heal. She left before I had a chance to tell her that I am sorry, that I learned it from my father, from my brothers and friends, the TV, the music, from everywhere that I thought I was supposed to learn from. In the end, it doesn't matter where I learned it from. It only matters how it affects her. And here we are walking away from the screens that we learn from, thinking that we are the self-proclaimed championship belt holders of the world as King Kong pipe layers, so dense in our thought that not a single whisper, not a single word, not a single yell can penetrate our skull enough to do the one thing that would ironically make us better lovers. Listen. But we don't have to, because the screens that we learn from provide us a means of instant gratification, where we learn to think that we are great in bed, and she learned how to fake orgasms to protect our egos. So you walk away from the screens that you learn from thinking that you've laid it down, but if you ask her, not so much, and eventually she will leave. She will leave before you have a chance to realize. She will leave before you have a chance to heal. She will leave before you have a chance to tell her that you are sorry, that you learned it from your father, from your brothers and friends, the TV, the music, from everywhere you thought you were supposed to learn from. I don't know what hurt worse, to realize that my ego was bruised for childish reasons, or to realize that I didn't have the slightest idea of how to be intimate. See, it's one thing to choose not to, but it's another to realize that you don't know how to in the first place, and she wants you to. She wishes you could. She wishes you would. You want to be able to talk about it, but see, the screens never taught you how to talk about this. See, this is what you hide in shame. This is what you pretend you don't feel. This is what makes you less of a man. This is what the guys make fun of you for, but this is what she is waiting for you to share, and she cannot wait forever, and eventually she will leave. She will leave before you have a chance to realize. She will leave before you have a chance to heal. She will leave before you have a chance to tell her that you are sorry, that you learned it from your father, from your brothers and friends, the TV, the music, from everywhere you thought you were supposed to learn from. Sorry that it took me so long to listen to you. I'm sorry it'll take me some time to get it right. And that's that piece. So what's tricky is that we have no choice in the environments that we're born into. And we also have no choice in a bunch of the messaging that we receive in those environments. And it doesn't mean that all of it is fundamentally bad or good, but it does mean that we might have to take a look at it by the time we get into adulthood. And I think that piece was so complicated because it really made me ask the question of, what did I learn? And how much harm can be caused from it. Has anybody seen that book, by the way? I had you guys, it was a book I passed around at some point in time. I had y'all write a little community poem. Oh, that one? Cool. Y'all want to do something interesting? Because I don't know what y'all wrote. But I do a poem a day for National Poetry Month, and it's late, and I ain't post one. And I just asked y'all to drop a random line. So I want to do a little community poem real quick. You know what I'm saying? It'll be fast. Let's see. Hope you ain't writing nothing crazy inappropriate. Don't worry, I'll pass if I should skip it. I'll read it beforehand a little bit. Today reminded me that I'm not alone. I'm seen and held and also loved. They say it's lonely at the top. Well, shit. I'm just getting started. Never gonna stop. Oh, that's one. There we go. She love me on top. This is y'all. I see where y'all at. I love money a lot, though. Life is mysterious, but we all, what is that? I gotta read this handwriting. Don't shout it out. Don't worry. But we all, I want to say it says will. No? I have this in my hand. Stay consistent, and your new habits will follow. You are always safe to trust yourself. Nobody can love me like me. Everything is working in my favor. Okay, poets, thank you, community poem. You know what I'm saying? This is, all right. I couldn't read somebody's handwriting, so I messed that up, but my bad. All right, so y'all ready for a little bit more? Yeah. I think I'm just gonna jump right into this one. No, like, water and pool, pun intended. No. I learned how to swim when I was 26 years old. You see, he got it. I don't know if y'all know, but there's a stereotype that American black folk can't swim. We didn't really have the best introduction to crossing waters, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I get it, right? But I try to take the Will Smith approach in life, though. No, not the whole slapping Chris Rock thing, but the taking on of having a mentality of challenging things that really scare me. I was a bit embarrassed, but I was determined, so I signed myself up for an introductory swim class, and no, I was not with the little kids with the floaties, I was with the adults. My father could swim quite well, actually, but he never really took the time to teach me. A couple of passing lessons here and there, but he never really made sure I could, so unfortunately, like many things in life, I had to learn how to do so by myself. Sometimes I get tired of swimming alone. So here I go. I learned how to dive into the deep end first. They make it like a rite of passage. I was trying to pretend like I was not afraid, but I can see in that moment that I was this scared little boy all over again. Heart racing and nervous, saying the mantra that they teach you, the water is your friend. So I'm starting to panic, and I look around for any means of safety, and I see a life raft on the wall, and I'm like, well, at least they can throw that in to save me if this really goes south. So I squeeze my nose, and I close my eyes, and I jump in. I'm actually a pretty good swimmer nowadays, but every once in a while when standing at the bottom of the pool, I swear that I can feel the pressure of the droplets. See, I struggle with treading, and I'm not that great at floating, and I know it deep down, so in the worst case scenarios, I panic and have to push my way back to the surface. I tend to swim alone, and it occurred to me that there will be no one that can throw in a life raft. I should probably be a bit more responsible, but it feels embarrassing to ask for a pool buddy when you're grown. My boy Darren drowned at 22, actually. When I was in my worst bouts of depression, I dreamt of water a lot, saying the mantra that they teach you, the water is your friend, but it doesn't always feel like it. See, sometimes when standing at the bottom of the pool, I swear that I can feel the pressure of the droplets weighing down on me, seemingly stealing the oxygen from my lungs, kind of like how it feels to be a man sometimes when I really start to sit back and think about all the pressures that I take on in the world according to others, just for fitting in the man category. It starts to feel like pressure from all sides, being told in one moment that it's okay to ask for help and being told in the next that I need to work my way out of this trauma while being scolded for my shortcomings. And I know that I'm responsible for me, I'm responsible for the harm that I've caused, but I'm also responsible to work my way out of this trauma and teach myself how to swim. And what I'm saying is it feels like a lot of water, and I'm tired of swimming alone. So when I tell you, no, baby, I'm tired. When I say, no, man, I'm good. When I say, baby, I don't want to talk about it today, what I'm really telling you is that I am drowning. When I was in my worst bouts of depression, I dreamt of water a lot, saying the mantra that they teach you, the water is your friend, but it doesn't always feel like it. I started dreaming about just jumping into the water and not trying to win the fight for the oxygen at all. See, there's an eerie silence under the water. The pressure of the droplets don't make it sound, but how is it that they've been so loud? They've been so loud for so long. He bullies you, you fight back. You need to know how to be tough, crush the competition in business, no quit attitude. You need to work a good job. Your self-worth is your net worth. Strengthen your network. Work out, bro. Get your gains. Build generational wealth. Oh, black man, be a pillar for your community. Be yourself, but be the version that we all want you to be. Show up. You're so toxic. Heal yourself. Get girls. What's your 401k looking like? Ask for help, but not too much, because then you're too soft. You're too soft, you're too hard. Why are you so angry? Why are you being short with me? You're a jerk. Men are jerks. Be gentle. Love me back. Just wait, hold on. It's too much water. It's too much water. And I know that I am responsible for me. I'm responsible for the harm that I've caused, but I'm also responsible to work my way out of this trauma and teach myself how to swim. And what I'm saying is it feels like a lot of water, and I'm tired of swimming alone. So when I tell you, no, baby, I'm tired. When I say, no, man, I'm good. When I say, baby, I don't want to talk about it today, what I'm really telling you is that I am drowning. And sometimes I just need a life raft. And that's that piece. Temperature check, how y'all doing? So I think of us all as standing in our own individual swimming pools. And this is what's actually tricky about mental health things that extends beyond gender. All these different little bubbles and water droplets and pressures that are in our life aren't even necessarily all bad, but it's pressure and input regardless. And what's really tricky on the mental health side is we don't know how well people are swimming around us. We might be swimming along gracefully, and there's periods of time where people may be drowning. To be transparent, what's really crazy is to know even Elgin, through so many periods in time with this, where there were moments where I would be hopping off stage and performing and whatever else and going home and thinking about taking my own life. And I don't know if anybody would have been able to tell. And the night that I actually announced this project, one of the DJs, DJ Commando in the city, it was the night I actually didn't sleep the entire night. And I'm posting this project and come across this picture, because he had taken his life essentially from some period in time from the announcement going into that next day. And I'm not saying that to bring down or to make anything feel any sadder or feel any heavier. But if you have seen this person, for instance, there's so many of us that learn how to perform so well in the world. The only thing that I urge for you and your loved ones, and especially for the men in your lives, is really asking people what's in the water of their swimming pool. How are they really swimming at this period in time, and trying to create and provide the space for it, because we don't know. And with that being said, I'm gonna share one more piece with y'all, and I'm probably gonna go get a cheeseburger after this, because this shit is as heavy for me as it is for y'all. I'm just like,
It's more chicken in the bag.
it is some more chicken in the back. I'm gonna leave with some of that too. But truly, like, I know there's a lot of emotion arising with this for me within the moment, but they're not the same tears that maybe would have came about at the time that I was writing a lot of these pieces, you know. These ones are actually more of a healthy release. So. I've been writing out the pain since a little kid, whether I knew it or not. I just wanted it to go away, but it would always come back with the vice grip. I found a notepad with my mother's old writing. She said she feared she passed the blue on to my sister Ashley and I. The blue being the depression that I know that she felt all her life. I think she just wanted to write out the pain too. We aren't speaking now. Right back to that feeling of being alone. That feeling that I can see in the eyes of others, that feeling that makes me want to end it all, so you walk around with smiles and surface level conversation or performance. Yeah, you really learn how to perform well, just so you never have to talk about what it's really like inside. Blue. It's hard to paint a picture with only that color. See, there's a scene in the last Christopher Nolan Batman where Robin sits down across from Bruce Wayne and he says something along the lines of, "See, I knew that you were Batman the moment that I saw you." He talks about how no one ever really recovers from deep loss and pain. See, they don't know what it's like to be angry in your bones. That scene shook me to my core. That scene made me feel exposed. That scene made me feel red. My anger feels like red hot before turning a blinding white. It's a blinding glow of rage, and it's a feeling that scares me because I know that I'm capable of unleashing fury, and it's fury that no one deserves to receive. My earliest memories when I think about the blue is I think of being yelled at, shut down, and dismissed as a kid with condescending speech and tone, to the point that I started to write out the pain whether I knew it or not. I just wanted it to go away, but it would always come back with the vice grip. My therapist said, "What would you have needed at that time?" What came in response was tears. To be consoled, to be loved. Waterworks, blue. When my parents split, I was given the choice to move with my mother or my father. I chose my father so that I can go and learn how to be a man, which resulted in me not seeing him much. When my parents split, I was given the choice to move with my mother or my father. I chose my father so that I can go and learn how to be a man, which essentially resulted in me not seeing him much. See, soon I was surprised with the growth of a tumor in my chest. I didn't know who to tell, so I told no one. I wanted it to kill me. I wanted to stop feeling blue. See, my plan was to let it take over my body, hoping for it to be malignant. And by the time anyone found out, it would be too late, black. I went to a social worker and a total of 2 therapists. Their diagnostic feedback is that I showed signs of severe depression and PTSD. I guess it wasn't alarming enough. I stopped going to school. When I did, I was high. I guess it wasn't alarming enough. It's right around the time that I started chasing the high of substances and porn, which eventually led to substances and women, which eventually led to no relationship feeling safe or special. And with about every relationship around me ending in divorce, what did I know about a relationship, or a healthy one at that? A good friend of mine told me I was crying inside of women. 5 years later, and a surgery from a tumor, benign, blue. See, I've been writing out the pain since a little kid, whether I knew it or not. I just wanted it to go away, but it would always come back with the vice grip. My therapist said, "You know where you have been, and you are healing from that. So who do you want to be now?" What came in response was tears. Hadn't been able to answer that question. But now I can see that I want to be a painter. Yes, a painter. Yellow. I work hard every day for that feeling of bright yellow, that feeling of telling myself that I can do it, and I believe myself. You always have. You fight for it like a marathon runner in his last race. I am painting a different picture for myself. I will take the blue and mix it with the yellow to form green like the forest that I love to escape to. I will take more of that blue for rivers and streams. The yellow is like kisses from the sun, and why stick to the basics? I will take the white, the blue, and the red to form the lavender like the wildflowers that I love, and the black is for the night sky that I can stargaze at for hours. And that remaining red I will take to paint my heart back to vibrancy and love, to let it fuel me, to get up, to keep going, to keep writing. See, I've been writing out the pain since a little kid, whether I knew it or not, and although it may not fully go away, now I will pick it up with my brush and my palette, and I'll paint. Thank you so much.